Hey everyone, it's Lisa Bongean, and I'm here today with Paula Wexler, right? All right, I have a special, super surprise, impromptu guest. Right? You just showed up at the shop after the quilt show.
I did. We were on a road trip and decided to come up here and then head home. So yeah.
Awesome. And you were in Wisconsin because
I had my quilt in the show, and yep, I traveled with a friend of mine. We both had quilts in, so we decided to do a road trip and come and see them. So.
Awesome. All right, so now what's the big deal about this quilt, right? So here's what happened. So I had a little opportunity to walk through the quilt show, and I love to find like my designs in the show, right? So I found, I think there was like 3 quilts that were my patterns. And then I also like to take pictures of quilts that I like for some reason, like they call to me. And I was in front of this quilt taking a selfie, and then I thought, okay, I better find out whose it is because I really love this, right? So as I'm reading the name and the description, it says Primitive Gatherings on it. I'm like, well, wait, this isn't my design. What is this? Well, here it was my fabric, and I didn't even like recognize it from, you know, a distance or from when I'm trying to do my selfie. So here's my selfie. All right, so I was taking some pictures of it, and then that's when I was took some close-ups of it.
All
right, did you see my selfie? I don't even know if I showed you it.
I saw the selfie because I wrote and said, we're coming there Monday.
Oh, okay, yeah, and that's probably on my Instagram, and I probably don't answer all that.
No, of course not.
Yeah, but that was super fun, right? And then as I'm reading the description, it says, do you remember what you wrote?
I was shopping and I saw the line of Primitive Gatherings fabric, and they just spoke to me. I bought the line of fabric, went out to the car, and I, on a scrap of paper, drew out the design.
Awesome.
And it just spoke to me.
Yeah, and it's hand applique, right? And how do you do your hand applique?
Needle turn applique.
Do you do freezer paper on top, or you draw a line?
I do freezer paper, and then I use the clover white marker to go around the freezer paper.
Okay.
And
then do you take the freezer paper off?
I do. I use a little dab of glue so to keep them on. I take them off, and then it travels everywhere with me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so and then as another added accent, this is hand quilted too. So tell us a little bit about the hand quilting, what needles you use, what thread you use, and then tell us about the secret.
I use the wildlife thread. I like
the select on the wood spool?
Yes, on the wood spool.
I use those for binding too.
Yes. Oh, I haven't used them for binding.
Yeah.
But yes, I love that. And then I use the number 11 Roxanne's needles.
Yes. And what is what is an 11? I use 11 too, so tell them why there's an 11.
I actually don't know why. No.
So the 11 is the same size as the 12, but it has a little bit bigger eye to thread.
Oh, that's probably why I like it.
Because when you're trying to rock that 12, it's great, right? Because it's small, but it doesn't have a big enough eye to thread.
Yeah,
it's
no,
really,
especially
really
the wire-life thread.
Right,
because that's a little stiffer and stuff.
So that's the reason. I think that's the difference between the 8 and the 12 and the 10. Is they threw that 11 in there.
And the 11's hard to find.
Yes, they are. But that's when I was fine hand quilting. That's the one I used too, is the 11.
Yeah.
And I didn't seem to bend it like I bent the 12s when I tried.
No,
the
12s bend a lot and then snap.
Yeah. So do you still do a lot of hand quilting?
I do, yes. I hand quilt most of mine.
Awesome.
Unless it's a baby quilt or something.
Right. Yeah. No. This is gorgeous. We were talking. I'm like, we need to really do. We can't obviously do this and kit it the way it is because this fabric, Liberty Gatherings came out in like 2015 or 16. This is long gone. Of course, we always keep a tower of everything that we do, and I have some yardage over there on my on my moto wall, but it's pretty much gone. So maybe it's time to do some more red, white, and blue woven with the next line.
I think so too.
Yeah, and I love that you use the subdued looking, not the brighter ones. You use the creamier ones, the darker ones. Yeah. So have you, how many ribbons do you have? You have lots of ribbons?
I've had 3 ribbons in 3 shows. So
Awesome. So you're on a roll.
one. Yes.
Good.
So.
And with 3 different quilts, or for this quilt, or?
With this one, 3
Okay.
different. I have other ones that.
So what's the best it has done?
Well, the highlight was when one of them was in Houston in the primitive exhibit, and I got a ribbon there.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that one was.
And it's hard to get ribbons at shows, just so you know. This isn't like, normal guild shows. These are big shows, and you really have to catch the eye of the judge. And I really believe that that's done by doing something different. So I'm thinking when she saw all this woven, she's like, oh yeah, this is beautiful. And it's different.
And
right?
this is usually in the same category as all the Baltimore albums.
Right,
too,
exactly.
Which is not a Baltimore album.
No, but it's so beautifully and so well done and so super straight.
Thank you.
You can just tell how well made it is. But could you see this in fall colors too? When I see this reel, I always think of fall.
Yes.
So I see like all these different color leaves here,
Yep.
maybe a darker background, and I could just see this just
Some cheddars
redone. Yeah. Gold. So maybe we can work together and see what happens.
Yes, that would be fun to
Awesome,
see it in
yes.
full colors.
All right. Maybe, and she's got a couple other ones too, so maybe Paula and I can work together on a few of them and see what happens, and let us buy patterns from her and sell them to you, and then
we can do up some different colorways.
yeah, do it some different colorways. And you're only in Georgia. It's not like we have to ship across the pond.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the States?
I've been in the States since '93, but I haven't lived in England since '89. I've traveled on yachts.
Do you
and
miss
stuff. Only because all my family is still there. So I still go back every other year.
Yeah, every other year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can take me with you sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
I'm always trying to go somewhere.
It's good for inspiration, traveling.
Yes, it is. So when do
countries.
you do most of your hand stitching?
In the evening.
Mm-hmm. Do you do any piecing?
I do piecing. I don't do a whole pieced quilt. If I do a pieced quilt, it's a section of it and then has applique on it.
Okay. And so you do your hand applique at night?
Or during the day.
Or during the day.
During the day.
Okay.
And then quilting at night
Quilting
on a hoop.
Oh, okay.
Just in my lap.
Yeah, instead of a frame?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. And a lot of echo quilting. And tell us about the little secret critters that are in here.
Well, the name of this quilt is Hidden Dragonflies, because as I was quilting them, there was a couple of spaces
after your echoes
that needed just something. And so every now and again, I put in a dragonfly into the quilting.
Oh, and any particular reason why you chose a dragonfly?
No, just as I was quilting it, that's just what it said. Well,
because
mostly
there is a special story about dragonflies.
Shape,
kind of
I had to lend itself to.
That's cool. Yes, it sure is beautiful. So thank you for bringing it to Primitive Gatherings so we could have this little sit down. And we'll insert this in one of our little lives or wherever Kaylee sees fit. But I really appreciate meeting you, Paula. And
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you could meet me too.
I look forward to doing some things with you.
Yes, I am too.
Awesome. All right.
Yes,
wasn't that fun? Thanks, Paula, for coming, and we appreciate that. And anytime we can inspire anybody to do what you love, use the homespuns, needle turn them, hand quilts, still viable. It's still winning awards. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye now.